Good afternoon. It is 1:30 Eastern Time, and today I have the great pleasure of speaking with someone that truly inspires me and hundreds of others around the world. He's just a very inspirational person, businessman, entrepreneur, investor. So we're just waiting for him to sign in so we can start the conversation. How's everybody doing? Can everybody hear me okay? As we wait for him to join our conversation here. Where is everybody right now? Where in the world is everybody on here? And how is it going with the current climate? Today, my reality is that I'm sitting here on by my closet on the floor because I have two babies at home and they can't hear me. Otherwise, I won't be able to get this done. Argentina, how is it over there? What's the situation looking like? See here, we're still waiting for him to pop in. Argentina. How is it in Argentina? What's the current climate looking like? Is it, I know everywhere in the world it's bad, but let's see, just waiting for him to sign in and we'll get started. Let's see. Just waiting a minute. And then I'm going to pop him in as soon as I see him come in. Let's see here. Yeah, so all of us are working remote, right? And it's really difficult, I feel, especially in the fashion industry. And because of that, we're actually putting together a 2-day virtual summit internationally, which will take place the 20th and 21st of April during Fashion Revolution Week. A lot of incredible people in the fashion world, from Diane von Furstenberg to Oscar Metzavat, Giulio Bonazzi, and the list goes on. So I hope you can join us. Where in the fashion industry are you working? Which part of the supply chain? Let's see if David is on. Don't see him. Jake, is David with you? Should I add you? Or is he going to come on in his personal handle? Let me know. I'll be right back, everyone. Let's see. Visual merchandising and store image. Okay. Yeah, so that's really tough right now, like every other business, but I think it's all about adaptation, right? Are you familiar with windowswear.com? Where is David? We're running a little late today. Everybody who's joining in and out, we're going to get started soon. We're just waiting for our guest of honor to join. And let's just give it a few more minutes. Let's see here. Don't see him. Let's give it a few more minutes here. Let me log. Just give me 1 minute. Oh, there he is. Okay, let's add him right now. The site is Windowswear. Let me add him. Here we go. We're going to go live. And I'm so excited. Let's see.
Hello.
Hi. How are you?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm good. Thank you so much for doing this today.
Oh, I'm so excited to be here. I'm trying to get this. You'll just have to excuse me moving around in my closet. So.
No, I'm actually today sitting on the floor of my bedroom closet, so my babies don't hear me and don't try to jump on me during this. So this is the new reality.
Awesome. I love it. It's from closet to closet on this live. So I'm gonna get resituated here for you, and we'll be right here.
Perfect.
There we go. You can kind of see what we got going on, and I'll lower this down as well. Can you see? We got it going on.
Yeah.
Right there, Donna.
There we go. Hi. So good to see you. It's so refreshing. And like I always say this to you and everybody that I speak to, but you're one of the most inspiring people that I've ever met. And I think right now, more than ever, everybody needs inspiration and positivity, and also just to learn how it is that we, set our minds to think positively when everything seems to be, not in our favor. And I
Yeah,
think, yeah.
Again and again, it's so important to understand how we create a mindset. It's easy for people to say, oh, just have a positive mindset, see the glass half full. Well, that's not, too easy, when people are dying and people are losing their businesses and people are losing their jobs and people are stuck in homes. So I would rather, instead of give you words of great inspiration to be positive, let me help people understand how we're positive, right? How, if Dave Meltzer, you're online saying, hey, I'm in the middle of a miracle, that's great to say and to see the glass half full, but how do you do it? And so it is a practice. That's the first thing. So allow your mind, your body, and your soul to understand, I'm going to practice one thing, being happy, right? In order to have a positive mindset, I'm going to start creating the most viral disease of all time called happiness. It's a disease that you spread simply by witnessing it. It strengthens everybody's immune system, the people that share their happiness, the people that receive the happiness, and the people that witness the happiness. Your immune system is strengthened. So the first thing to understand is to raise your awareness of what makes you happy. And we have to start practicing being happy. And it's a practice. And so in order to practice being happy, we have to know, what is it in our lives that's interfering? Because I know, and make this assumption, and if you don't believe me, please reach out to me. I'll be happy to explain why. But I know I am already and always connected to the greatest source of love, lessons, and light. In other words, I'm always connected to happiness. So what am I doing to interfere with that connection? And start there with your connection. Don't worry about what other people are doing. Don't try to do anything on that side of the equation yet. But simply ask yourself, what am I doing to interfere with my happiness? Am I doing the things, that health-wise interfere with my happiness? Am I doing things relationship-wise to interfere with my happiness? Am I doing things sleep-wise to interfere with my happiness? What are the things I'm doing? Because I'm born connected to that unbelievable, I am life, I am light, and I am love, and I am health. Whenever I feel a little bit of a scratch on my throat or something, everyone's hypersensitive today. I immediately say, I am health. I am health, right? And I close my eyes and I remember what I'm connected to. I reconnect to what I'm connected to. I clear the connection to that. So let's all understand, let's get into the practice of happiness. Let's get into the practice of what makes us happy, what clears that connection, and we'll start realizing that we have certain needs that create the interference, and they're exacerbated today. They're exacerbated because time has compressed, because change is happening so quickly. When change happens really quickly, our reference points get closer and closer together, so it seems like time is going so fast, and we start getting anxious and fearful. Well, what happens is when we get compressed time, compressed uncertainty happens, because the future becomes, when days are going long, the future seems long away. When things are going well, the future's long away. When things are compressed, and uncertainty could be the next hour. I'm afraid of what's going to happen next hour, compared to in 13 years of growth and economic stability and all these great things, low unemployment, and you've been feeling great and healthy. I may not be alive tomorrow. Oh my gosh, things get compressed. So we have to learn, what is it that we need as far as cleaning that connection. And you'll start realizing that we have, when time is compressed, we have terrible habits in our practice. We have the need to be right and need to be offended and separate and guilty and inferior and superior, anxious, frustrated, angry. All of these things are coming out. You can see it everywhere. People have lost their alchemist attitude, the ability to have a strong mental health, which will lead to a strong physical health. So I think, first off, the advice that I have for everyone is, let's all practice happiness. Let's all raise our awareness to what we want and do that is interfering with our happiness. And then, Jordan, if you have other, more practical questions, I think once you get into a stable environment that you feel good, now we can go ahead and take advantage of the opportunities to, one, help others, and two, grow ourselves, mentally, physically, spiritually, economically grow ourselves, because there's extraordinary opportunity in every industry right now.
That's exactly. So that kind of leads to my second question. I heard you say something, I think it was yesterday, but every time you go live, I go on and I always hear something really that teaches me a lot. But you mentioned how right now we don't have that many necessities, so we can actually save money. And even if the money is coming in slower, we can actually save that money. So when things go back to the norm, we can have that money to invest or to do other things or grow our businesses bigger. So with that, where do you see the future of business? Do you see like a shift in what's going to be happening because of what we're going through now?
Oh, absolutely. I see there being a much better blend of technology, a much better blend of travel, a much better blend of hospitality, of entertainment itself. There's going to be this acceleration of technology. There'll be a much better blend. Let me just talk about fashion.
Yeah.
People will spend more time at home now. They're going to become acclimated to the positive attributes of working out of their house. You know, utilizing things like this and Zoom and other things. They're going to say, wow, I was wasting a ton of money before. You know, in fact, you know, some of my podcasts are better on Zoom than they would be on person. And I'm able to do so much more on LinkedIn Live than I was able to do in person. And wow, do I save a lot of time that I'm really enjoying spending with my children. And all of these things are going to create a new blend. Well, if more people are going to be at home, think about how that affects fashion, right? So because now in fashion, there's different apparel, different accessories that can be utilized because we're working out of our closet.
Yeah.
Right? And so you might see a higher trend in reversible apparel, because I need to take, you know, the casual look and flip it inside out and get on an interview, or I need 3 different outfits in one so I can quickly get onto different things and different business meetings. You know, there's all types of cool fashion things that are going to be there. And if you're not innovating and creating right now, because we never have this time. You know, Einstein created the theory of relativity because he didn't have a job. He was the only one that didn't have a job out of his class. So it gave him time to, as a file patent clerk, to think about things that these other physics geniuses couldn't figure out for 10 years, because he actually had the time to create and innovate, to channel this great information, source of energy, light, and lessons that he's connected to, which Einstein changed our world completely, the same as Disney and Jobs and Gates and, you know, all these other people that have spent the time in their closet or in their garage. And now everybody's forced to spend their time in their closet, in their garage, to really figure out, I talk about this, take inventory every day. And the number one thing you should take inventory of is your values. Because when we're in compressed time and compressed uncertainty, things change so fast. You need to know your values and keep, you know, and codify what those values are, because my values have changed, right? I am always the first to tell you, you know, I'm a hypocrite because I always change and pivot and, you know, never quit. But more than ever, I'm a hypocrite because my values change daily. And I keep on learning, you know, things that my ego has cost me economically, emotionally, physically, and spiritually, that I'm not going to give up when I go back to the office. There's certain things I'm doing right now that you will still see podcasts and interviews from my closet, even though I have my office open. You will see me. I went jogging with my 9-year-old. You know, I what an experience that was. And he beat me at the end, which made it even a better experience, as he came sprinting down our street and all the neighbor kids were like, oh my gosh, he beat his dad. These are the things I'm not giving up. And I want everyone, when I tell you, you're in the middle of a miracle, but you got to seek it. You got to seek the miracle, find the light. It's in everything. I talk about a candle. You are a candle. And right now, if you have a light, let's say you have a light and you're positive, but if you're not sharing your light, your candle's going to burn straight down very quickly. But if you're out there, like Jordana, you do this, you're sharing your light. I have so many people reaching out to me saying they're friends of yours. They are all these opportunities and you're just inspiring people, but you're sharing in the light. Every time you light someone else's candle, your candle stops burning. So it gives you an infinite being. It allows you. So let's share the light. Let's share the happiness. It's the most contagious virus ever created. It's shared by witnessing it. It spreads like weed. It's amazing. So we just have to make sure that we're practicing ending fear and practicing happiness.
Yeah. And I have to say, since I met you, I've always been worried that I'm too vulnerable, too real, too honest. And I always thought that that was a fault. But then after meeting you and hearing you speak, I realized it's actually a strength. And what's interesting, and you tell me what you agree, if you, what you think of this, but I feel like with everything that's going on, even though we're distant as far as physically, I think mentally people are a lot closer than they've ever been because they have the time and they're willing to have conversations instead of just texting. And all of that brings us closer together. So do you see, I mean, I think also, so for businesses, it's a good thing because a lot of people like yourself who's super busy, when it's for travel to events and speak at events or go here and go there, your time is limited. But when you're home and you can do everything virtually like we're doing now, we're forced to be doing now, you have more time to be able to do more of these types of things. So do you think that just the office life in general is going to change after this and people are going to start traveling less and doing more virtually?
Absolutely. And I think because I live in a lens, call it the Meltzer kaleidoscope, a lens of productivity. So as I'm viewing my new life through my lens of productivity, I'm so much more productive. I provide more value than ever. Two, a lens of accessibility. I'm much more accessible than I've ever been. And I'm accessing what I want in a more efficient, effective, and statistically successful way. And then finally, the lens of gratitude. You know, I truly see that I'm in the midst of a miracle, that there's so many things. Like, why do I need to watch the news to see how many people have coronavirus? Because that number is inaccurate. Why do I need to know how many people are dying of anything? If I need to know it, I'll seek the information and go Google it, right? But my lens is looking and saying, wow, the sky is getting clearer, the grass is getting greener. I have better relationships with my family, friends, and associates. I'm making more money for more people and making more people happy than I've ever done before. All of these things, you know, I'll use our relationship as example. Before this all happened, you visited California, and out of the graciousness of who you are, you took an Uber at great expense from Los Angeles to Orange County to spend, you know, I have a 5:20 rule, 5 minutes phone calls, 20-minute meetings, to spend 20 minutes with me. And, you know, I appreciated it. I adore being with you, and you're full of light, and it warmed my heart. But I will have to tell you that I feel the same right here, looking at your beautiful face and your light and your love that you have. And you didn't have to spend an hour to come see me and an hour to get back and a few $100s, you know, and there's the blend of faith and money. And so I would, you know, if you called me and said, hey, I'm in Los Angeles next time when this is all over, I want to come down and see you, and I only have 20 minutes to see you because, you know, that's where I'm at. I'm going to tell you, hey, let's jump on Instagram Live or a Zoom call so I can see your beautiful face and see what's going on. But next time when I have time to visit, let's sit down, have a nice meal together, and have time together as family and friends, and use that time efficiently as well. So I'm looking forward to this blend, this new blend of technology with the social interaction that we've been afforded in the past. You know, for me, the greatest thing that I miss is the ability to fill up a stadium and be part of that energy, a true collective stadium, whether I'm speaking on stage or sitting in the stands of my favorite sporting events, walking, you know, the grounds at the Masters. But I will say, as much as I miss that energy, I know it will be back. And moreover, I've learned a whole nother set of energies. And this is a great unification. The world is unifying under the one guise of humanity, that this virus has brought to our attention that this is our home, the earth, and that we all share. A tree has no branches. Why would one branch go to war against another branch? We all live as one single tree. And I think that we will have a great unification because no matter what country you're in, every mother has the same perspective right now. They want their children to be healthy. They want their children to be happy. They want their children to be loved, and they want their children to be appreciated, meaning adding value. And we all want that. And that's why before this started, I was on a mission of happiness to empower 1,000 people like you, to empower another 1,000, to empower another 1,000. And I'm also, for those of you that have never heard me, I'm extremely pragmatic. So I'm not just a woo-woo. Yes, I have like cool spiritual stuff on me and bracelets and I trace calligraphies, but I'm all about money. I believe that money is the energy of this vibration. It is a currency. That means it's an object of energy that you put into the flow. And one of my expertise is how do I use that energy to help people and have fun, right? Create happiness. And so I think there is a great blend right now, a new awakening of how to utilize your money. As you said, we can save a lot more money, be more efficient, more effective, and statistically successful, create more abundance in a true economic sense for this vibration, as well as blend it with our faith. And our faith is what we think, say, do, believe, and the unconscious competency that we have, this quantum potential that all of us should enjoy pursuing in a consistent, everyday, persistent, without quit. And when we have these love, light, and lessons, everything's going to be okay. And you can play with all the numbers and statistics that you want. Your main focus should be you stay safe and allow other people to be safe, happy, and healthy.
I love that. And I just have to say, first off, it was my pleasure to go down and see you because I would never pass that up. And two, the stadium thing that you mentioned with the energy. So, and I hope that you will, I know we spoke about this, but the 2-day summit that we're doing, the international summit, we're hoping for hundreds of thousands of viewers, which everybody, our link is up, but you'll be a key speaker and I cannot wait for that. And I hope to have that same type of energy with everybody at home. And I think that we can get it done because just looking at you, you've already inspired me so much just in this conversation, as you always do. But another thing too, you mentioned how money, you are about peace and love and all, but money is important. And since I've met you, I always had like a bittersweet relationship with money where I would be afraid to talk about money. But now I know that if you use both your energy and your goodness of your heart and the money together, that's okay. And money is not a bad thing. It's not an evil thing. And that's something that it's still a process for me, but listening to you talk about money and because you give so much and yet money matters, it shows me that it's okay. So that's amazing.
Yeah, money's like a bathtub. If you use the bathtub in the wrong way, you could say a bathtub is bad.
Yeah.
Right? Money is just a currency, and it's what you do with it. It gives you an option to buy things that are good. Real quickly though, because I think for everyone out there, I have a lot of people too that actually they're prospering during this time, and they feel an ego emotion called guilt. And I think a lot of people, they restrict themselves, they limit themselves because they have a need to be offended, a need to be guilty, the need to be resentful. These are interferences. And so once you subscribe to the attitude that everything comes through you. I told one of my executive coaching clients yesterday, he's like, I'm making so much money, I feel so guilty, what? And I said, no. If you feel guilty, then give it all away. Give all your money away, but keep on making it. Money doesn't disappear, it's just slowed down. And we need people like you to speed it up. So keep making your money, but it's not happening to you right now. This is not happening to you as a victim. This isn't happening for you, so you don't have to feel guilty. It's happening through you for others. And when you take that perspective, you should be more abundant and you'll receive so much more. And someone asked me before on the notes, I like to read these. They said, what's the need to be offended? I said, all the needs of the ego, especially the need to be offended, I wish we could feed the world as fast with the need to be fed as the need to be offended. Because if you have a need to be offended, you're going to be offended by anything and everyone at any time. So the need to be offended is, oh my God, I can't believe he said that. Oh my God, I can't believe they did that. I can't believe this. No, you don't have a need to be offended. Live with gratitude, forgiveness, accountability, and inspiration, and you will live in an abundant world with more than enough of everything for everyone.
And Ricky has asked this question. He's in here. So hi, Ricky, 3 times. And I want to make sure we get, how can we learn happiness from children?
So look, everyone's a child. Don't forget that. Everyone's a child. And I love my mom more than, probably more than my kids love me. I hate to say that. Look, we learn from everyone, right? And everyone is a teacher. I believe in quantum memory. I believe in everyone has superpowers. And so what I do, regardless of your age, your height, your sex, your religion, whatever separation other dogmatic people have for conditions and judgments, I seek superpowers. I seek superpowers. So when Ricky Mendez is out there and he has all his human behaviors, I'm seeking the superpowers of Ricky. And guess what? That's what's drawn out. That's what's drawn out. I'm seeking the superpower of Jordana when I help you. I seek the superpowers of my children. And when you seek, you will receive. And so let's all seek the superpowers of our children, of our parents, of our siblings, of our family and friends and associates. It's so easy to be judgmental and conditional about things. And trust me, if you seek, you know, I told this story, it's my #1 TikTok video, but I said I've been married 23 years. And if I am looking for my wife to be a nag, she's a nag. And if I'm looking for her to be a queen, she's a queen. And so I seek the superpowers of my wife. And over the last 23 years, my relationship with the most important person in my life has just expanded and accelerated. So in this guide of happiness, in this middle of this miracle, let's seek the superpowers in everything and everyone, and we're going to find them.
Amazing. Oh my gosh, this has been incredible. And honestly, now I'm going to seek the superpower of the king and my husband, and not sometimes, you know, the brat,
the nag.
my husband.
Well, can you call my wife and tell her to seek the superpowers in me too?
No, this was so incredible. I am so happy that we did this. I'm going to save this for 24 hours after. Whoever is not following David Meltzer, please do. You will be so happy. Every day there's something that you'll learn. And honestly, thank you from the bottom of my heart. I adore you, and I hope that we can keep doing this and just keep fostering our friendship, because you're incredible.
Thank you. I have a free training I do on Fridays for everyone. If you want to text me to register, 949-298-2905, 949-298-2905, at David Meltzer on Instagram as well. Anything I can do to be of service. I'm on a mission to empower over 1 billion people to be happy, and we're just accelerating in this miracle. So thank you for the opportunity to share. I love you all.
Thank you.
Bye.
Be safe.
I will. Happy.